I'm going to ask Jeff if you'd be so kind to jump back in, Jeff, and field some questions. We'll take questions for about, I've only got about 20 minutes actually, I'm afraid. I have to disappear at about 3:30 my time. So let's take 20, 25 minutes worth of questions. And Jeff, maybe you could field those questions for me.
Hi, Chris. Sure. Chris, actually, I have several that have been asked a lot. I usually do this during the webinars, have several questions that have been asked by a lot of people. And to make sure that we get those in, I usually just go ahead and go through and ask, and maybe I'll comment on them as well. But one of the most common ones I've seen is what are the listeners' rights to this product? I haven't downloaded it. I haven't actually seen it myself. So they're asking, when they download it, they have master resale rights. Is that correct?
It's a great question. Let me address that. Anytime you purchase a product, there's always a license agreement that will come with that product, and every product will probably be slightly different. So for this particular product, let's have a look. I can't actually remember is the honest answer. But there will be somewhere, here we go, look, here's the license agreement. So let's look at this. And let's see exactly what we get with this product. So this particular product is saying you can sell the personal rights. Now this again, rights is something that I still get a little bit confused about, because there's resale rights, rebranding rights, master resale rights. What have we got here? You can sell basic resale rights. You can sell master resale rights. You can give this away for free. You can sell it in auction sites. So you're being told here what you are and you are not allowed to do. You can add it to membership sites. You cannot decompile the product and sell private label rights. That means you can't take the individual videos and probably transcribe them and use those as articles to generate traffic. That's about the only thing you can't do. But to answer your question, Jeff, and anyone that's interested, anytime you purchase any product, you will have a license in there somewhere that will tell you what you can and you cannot do. And so just make sure you don't break those rules. I don't know how much they're policed online, but you know, you just want to stick with what you can and can't do. In fact, I even checked with the guy. His name is Aaron, the guy that created this. I just, out of courtesy, emailed him and said, look, I'm thinking of doing a webinar and using your products. I think it's great. Can I just check that I can? And he went, yeah, sure, of course. You know, and I'm not promoting him. As you've noticed, there's no sales in this webinar for him by any means. So just out of politeness, I even checked with him first. But just check your license agreement that will come with every product. It will tell you what you can and can't do.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Chris. Chris, we've had several people also ask about SEO, and you know, these being sales and opt-in pages. I want to field that real quickly.
Okay, so is the question more about how would this sales page appear in...
Just asking for this kind of page ranking in search engines and so on.
So the question really is, just for those that aren't aware, we're getting a few questions asked about SEO. For those that are unaware what SEO is, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. That means when you go to Google, in fact, let's do it right now. Let's go to Google. When you go to Google, and when we type in something, somebody type in something for me to search for in Google. First one I say I'll type in. What should I search for? Tomatoes. Who said that? Ingrid. Perfect. Thank you, tomatoes. Tomatoes. Thank you, Ingrid. Sorry, got your name the wrong way around there. Tomatoes. Okay, so I'm searching for tomatoes. So what we have here is a very quick SEO lesson. What we have here is the results for tomatoes or tomatoes, wherever you are in the world. This page here is known as SERPs, S-E-R-P-S. That stands for the Search Engine Results Page or pages. And on the left-hand side, these are the organic results. I'll explain what that means in a moment. On the right-hand side, these are actually adverts. People have paid to have these ads here, and people have paid to have this ad at the top. Now, to appear in the organic results, you do not have to pay for it, but you do have to work at it. So you kind of get a choice whether you pay to appear on the right-hand side or whether you spend a bit of time working on your web page to appear on the left-hand page. How to appear on the first page of Google using search engine optimization tactics is a conversation that we really don't have time to go through now. I could talk to you for a whole weekend about various tactics. In fact, I have a course at my membership site called I Love Traffic, You Love Traffic that goes through exactly this. But the short answer is a lot of people, and I think Jeff, I'll ask Jeff to jump in a second. I think Jeff may agree with me here. A lot of people almost get kind of obsessed with search engine optimization to generate traffic, thinking they have to do well, they have to appear on page 1 for their particular keyword, in this example, tomatoes, to get them traffic. Let me say something that hardly anybody ever says. Search engine optimization is just one way to get traffic. Now, sure, if you get it right and you appear on page 1 for your keyword, it is a great way. I agree with that. But it is only one way. And I, even to this day, don't really use that much search engine optimization tactics to generate traffic. I tend to use more video marketing. I tend to still use forum marketing. I tend to use articles, but not in the normal way. I tend to give articles to popular blogs. I tend to use Facebook a lot more than I ever thought I would, and that's seeing a huge result for me. I tend to use video. Did I mention video? I can't remember. But search engine optimization is only one way to get traffic. To start off with in this business, it's unlikely you're going to get on page 1. So I would not be tempted to worry too much about trying to get on page 1. Instead, I would use, let's say, our product, Articles for Newbies. I would go to forums about internet marketing, forums about writing, forums about articles, and contribute there. Every time you post a link in a forum, you can link back to your sales page. That would be a lot quicker way to actually get instant traffic to your page. So I wouldn't worry too much about trying to appear high in the SERPs to start off with, because that alone can take a bit of time, and a lot of people think they have to. But remember, search engine optimization is just one traffic source, of which there are about 100 different traffic sources. That would be my answer to that question. Jeff, I know you have thoughts on SEO as well, so I'm interested to know your take on this.
Of course, as I've said many times at your membership site, Chris, I spent first few years I was doing this full time. I spent about the first 3 years I was doing this full time, making a living exclusively off of search engine traffic. So the better I did in search, the more money I made. I don't bother at all anymore. I mean, if that tells you outright, I don't bother with search anymore. So, you know, take that for what it says.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's not effective, but what I've found is other stuff gives me a better return on my time.
It's also now to really get on page 1 for a very strong keyword. It's all about really, well, there's two things. There's content of your page, but 90% of it, Google judge you 90% on the links to your web page from other sites. Particularly if you can get a link from a high authority site. In Google's eyes, then you're viewed as an authority website. And that alone can take a bit of time to do.
That's right.
Which is why I don't advise to start off doing that. Sorry, Jeff, I spoke over you. I beg your pardon.
I was just going to say, the thing is that for sales and opt-in pages, it's not worth your time. Drive traffic in other ways. That's it.
I mean, I built a list of 20,000, not even worrying about search engine optimization, just as Jeff's saying, just using other techniques that are actually more fun. Facebook, I have to say, is so underutilized at the moment, and I'm using that to generate traffic. In fact, I'm creating a Facebook course that I will be giving away for free, you'll be pleased to know, at my membership site. That's still about a few months away. I'm studying Facebook every day. In fact, I'm working with some amazing Facebook geniuses. The things they're showing me that they're doing are incredible. So I really can't wait to create this Facebook course and share it with you. But that is still a few months away, so please don't think that that's probably looking at September. But my point being, social media, I think Facebook more so than Twitter. And I wasn't a huge Facebook fan at first, but Facebook, social media, YouTube, different ways of generating traffic rather than just relying on SEO. Great question, though.
Yep. Chris, a couple of people have commented on various aspects of the sales and download page. I'm just going to run through those quickly. The guarantee was different, and PayPal might require something. ClickBank might require a different one. They do have their own requirements. So certainly whatever payment processor you're using, make sure that what you state on your sales page matches up with that payment processor.
Yes, very true. You're right. I think ClickBank by default gives 60 days refund. So if your sales page...
It's actually 56 days.
Oh, is it 56? Okay. That's odd.
I know. It's 8 weeks.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, but a couple of our eagle-eyed listeners spotted that. Well, more than a couple. That the guarantee does need to match up. The credit card should match up. So if ClickBank takes one set of credit cards and PayPal accepts another, then make sure, if you're going to show a credit card image, and it's a good idea to do that, then yes, make sure it matches up with whatever processor you're using.
Yes.
Also, your email address on your download page, that should certainly be there. Should match up with your sales page address. Also, ClickBank, I know, and I think PayPal, they have their own requirements for what needs to be on a download page. They want certain phrasing on there. They're
quite strict, actually. I know that clearly. I've worked with ClickBank for years now. You're right. They want actual particular vernacular. They want to make customers feel that they know how much they've been charged after they paid. It's all basically good business. You know, most people are fine with this. But yeah, there are. If you were going to put this product on ClickBank, you would have to just make sure you abide by their terms and conditions.
That's right. And really, today you're just trying to point out the process, and here's a way to do it with PayPal. This is the simplest way. People have asked all kinds of questions about split testing, analytics, sales tracking, download page protection. All that stuff is perfectly valid and great stuff to look at. We probably don't have time to get into that today because I know you were just showing the overview. And showing all those things would only kind of complicate it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, all those questions are great. Protecting the download page, for example, what somebody means by that, I guess, is it's possible that that actual download page URL could appear on the search results pages. It's unlikely that it would appear high enough for somebody to even notice it, but you can actually put a little piece of code on that page to stop it appearing. Again, that was slight. It's not advanced, but I didn't really want to go through that today because that's a little bit more dotting the I's. But it's a great observation, easily done, and I do that a lot of the time, so it easily can be done. Today was really just the overview. I wanted people to understand the process of how this works.
One other thing quickly on PayPal. Some people have asked, what if someone wants to pay with a credit card? What if someone doesn't use PayPal and so on? And what I can say on that, First of all, on the credit card thing, people can use a credit card without a PayPal account.
Absolutely.
But it does create an account for them, as far as I know. I haven't done that in a while. But if you use a credit card, then it will open up a PayPal account for you automatically. If someone wants to, if you want to use a different processor that accepts credit cards directly, well, you can do that. But that's a whole different setup process than what Chris showed today.
Yeah, PayPal's the easiest way, and you're right, PayPal does accept credit cards.
And some people have related, tales of PayPal horror stories and so on. And, honestly, I've had an account for 10 years, opened 10 years ago this month, actually. Never had a problem with them. But you got to remember, when you see those horror stories, that's who's going to be most vocal. You're going to see the very small percentage of people who've had problems and they don't think it's their fault. They're the ones who are going to be most vocal about those horror stories.
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
and years, we go quietly about our business.
Yeah, that's an interesting internet marketing thing as well. You will get some people that will be vocal about something that didn't work for them, but those that had no problem with it kind of won't naturally post saying it worked for me. So you're right. I've never had a problem with PayPal. I've got 2 accounts with them, and they're great. Yeah, the customer service is a bit slow. They're notoriously difficult to get hold of on the phone.
Follow the rules, follow their terms of service. You won't have any problems.
Totally.
And that's just kind of the way I look at it. And since their fees are so much less than ClickBank's, I tend to prefer PayPal where possible.
Yeah, ClickBank's at 9.8%, so it's quite high.
Okay, Chris, I have one more quick question that a lot of people have asked, and we'll go on and try to take some listener questions. And a lot of people have asked, do they need a new separate domain to offer this product?
Great question. If you have something online at the moment at a domain name that you want to keep online, then yes, you would need a separate domain, or you could create a subdomain, which means if your domain name was chrisfarrell.com, you could create a subdomain which would be articles.chrisfarrell.com. Personally, I think if you're going to sell something, it should be on what's known as a primary domain, basically a standalone domain name, because it just looks a bit better on the eye. If you're going to buy something that was at www.articles.chrisfarrell.com, it just suddenly doesn't sit well. So for $9, I would recommend buying your own domain name. However, if you just want to go through today to practice and just to understand the process, then don't buy a new domain name. If you have a domain name with something on it already, you can create a subdomain. And if you have hosting with me that's free, all this can be done at my membership site for free. You can create infinite number of subdomains. It takes a couple of seconds. I've got loads of videos showing you how to do that. But if you're actually going to sell it, I would have it on your own domain. Yes.
Okay. Chris, actually what I do, some people may want to consider this, I usually use a subdomain, and I do that until the product proves itself. I want to see
that's
that
interesting.
I can drive traffic and make sales with this product, at least enough to cover $10 a year, which is one sale,
Sure.
Once the product has proven itself that it makes sales and no problems with it or anything, then I'll move it to its own domain, because I do agree that having its own domain is best.
Yeah, it just looks better on the eye.
Okay, everyone, we have about 10, 15 minutes.
I could keep going to 3:30 actually. So yeah, 15, maybe nudging 20, if that would work for people.
Okay. Chris, unfortunately, my screen has temporarily frozen for some strange reason.
Ah.
If you want to go put everyone's hands down.
Should I do that? Okay.
I'll just let you handle this until I can get control of my screen back.
Hands down.
Yeah, so if you have a question and would like to come on the air live and ask Chris, then please click the little hand icon that we showed you at the beginning.
Wonderful, and I'll just look for raised hands.
See what you see there.
Okay, well, until Jeff hopefully gets his screen unfrozen, let me just select the first hand I've seen raised, which is it's Charlotte Yu, who I think I've met, funnily enough. Let me just unmute you, Charlotte. Charlotte, can you hear me? I think this is Charlotte, who I met in London a few weeks ago. I don't know if you can hear me, Charlotte, okay? Are you there, Charlotte? Well, we heard you for a second. I think we've lost you. Okay, not to worry. I'll try again in a moment, Charlotte. I'm going to try Chris Morgan now, hopefully. And let's see if we can hear you. Chris Morgan, is that you? Now, I can hear myself.
Yes, I can hear you.
Chris, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's nice to hear you. Where are you?
I'm in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm a POM, but I've been
Oh, my goodness. You're in New Zealand.
CJ, I call myself.
CJ, sorry. How is it in New Zealand?
Chris is fine, but it's winter now, and it's a bit chilly, and it's quite wet.
Wow.
So,
Isn't
I've listened to with you is brilliant, but I'm quite an old fellow and I'm a terrible newbie. So
don't worry. Well, I was there 2 years ago. So how may I help you, CJ?
Oh well, did I put a hand up?
Do you know what you did? But I'm sensing maybe you didn't mean to. But that's fine.
Well, I was just messing about really, because that's how much a newbie I am. I would hardly know where to begin with a question. Well, to be quite honest, I do sort of have one. I hope it doesn't sound too silly.
Okay, of course not.
You've actually been covering it. It's to do with once you've learned some of this and you were able to get a product out, and I'm not there yet. It's just how you get the traffic to you. And so you were talking about the search engines, weren't you?
Yes.
And so far, before I met you, I'd had a real overemphasis on going there. But it seemed like you had to write a zillion articles to get there.
Chris, I'll tell you.
Like that?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and please don't think I'm not answering your question. I'd rather ask some questions about this, because I could talk to you, Chris, about traffic forever. I'm a bit of a traffic nerd, to be honest with you. I study traffic. I try different traffic. Some of it works. Some of it works very well. Some of it doesn't work. I have a really complex and detailed, well, complex is the wrong word, but certainly detailed traffic course at my membership site, if you're a member. I'm not trying to get you to join if you're not a member, but I know that...
I'm a member, and I'm going along. I'm doing the 33 days with you at the moment.
Oh, well, if you look for I Love Traffic, You Love Traffic, which is also on
Yeah,
the site,
you mentioned that today, and I've seen it there. Yeah.
that would really go
I
through.
don't want to go there yet though, because I feel that I need to go to the 33 days, maybe the 21 days, if I'm correct, and then listen to what you're doing here. And then the other thing you mentioned is what do you call it, where you collect people's emails,
Yes.
and that seems to be one of the ways you favour.
Without a shadow of a doubt, you've got to build your list first. Today's webinar was all about after you've built a list, then having something to actually sell to people and understanding the process. But yes, it actually starts with building a list without a shadow of a doubt. So,
Okay, well I guess there's some really good questions out there, so if I could just ask another quick one while I'm here. Am I on the right track doing the 33 days first?
Chris, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just slightly aware of time, and I really want to just answer
Yeah,
questions about today's webinar.
that's
So
right.
if you don't mind, because I'm getting quite a few comments saying we want to talk about today's webinar. But yes, you are
Yeah,
on the
that's
right
cool, yeah.
track. Chris, thank you, and thanks for being
Okay,
understanding about
thank
that.
you. Okay.
Nice to hear you in New Zealand. Wow, New Zealand. Jeff, is your screen unfrozen?
Yeah, I'm back now, Chris. Just a second here. We have Deborah. Hi, Deborah. Can you hear us? Deborah? Okay, we'll have to come back to Deborah.
It was all going so well.
I do see them. Hold on just a second here.
Yeah, I can as well.
We have William. Let's see. William, hi. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Is that William?
Hello?
Hello, William. It's Chris here. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, hello. Yes, fine.
It's
I
nice.
didn't mean to ask a question. I've got my hand with the arrow pointing down.
Oh, I think we've got a little bit of a technical thing here with our hands being raised.
Yeah,
Don't you worry.
yeah.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
nice.
the use...
Do that. Yeah.
It's nice to hear you, though, William. Where are you, mate?
County Durham,
Oh, well,
UK.
I used to live in Darlington in the County Durham
All right.
all
That's
those years
great.
ago. Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world
Yeah.
in the northeast there. Lovely.
I mean, I do have a quick question, Chris.
Go on then, William.
When you purchase, when you're buying a product,
Yes, sir.
where would you go if you wanted that product solely for yourself to own outright?
The best place is, well, here's the thing. There's a thing online called PLR, which stands for private label rights, which allows you to sell other people's products and get 100%, basically like what we've been doing today. You can probably hear the hesitancy in my voice, and the hesitancy is that 99% of PLR, in my opinion, is actually worthless. It's not actually very good. There are a few huge glaring exceptions to the rule, much like today's. The guy I know that creates these PLR products is amazing. He goes into real quality. He spends a lot of time, him and his designer really make just great quality products. And they charge $27 a month for their products, and you get access to all their products. I will gladly email you. I just don't want to sound as if I'm trying to, because I said at the beginning, trying to, sell
Yes.
something in this webinar. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do, because a few people have been asking this, and maybe I should get over my fear of sound like I'm selling. What I'll do, William, is as follows. Let me send out an email to everybody tomorrow with the details of this guy, and then it's up to you if you want to purchase from him. You don't have to. But this guy is a great source of PLR, and I've met him online. These are his products that I saw today. I love his images and his designs. Or, William, in the meantime, if you just go to Google and type in PLR or good quality PLR, you'll find lots of PLR sites. But just be aware that some of them aren't great, and lots of people could buy them in theory. The truth is, even if they do, 99% of people won't actually do anything with them. So don't worry about thinking, hang on, everybody could buy this. Yeah, technically everybody could, but everybody won't. We all know that. So I would just go to Google, look at PLR, and that's a very good place to start. And I'll email you tomorrow. In fact, I might even make a video about it tonight, mentioning this guy's details. I'm slightly hesitant to do it now because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to promote something in this webinar, which I'm not, if that's okay with you.
Right, that's great, Chris. Appreciate it.
William, you're a lovely man. Hope to get to meet you one day.
I hope so.
Thanks,
I hope
William.
so. Okay.
Good to hear you, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, William. Yes, everyone, this is going to be recorded. It will be available. Check on the front page of chrisfarrellmembership.com. I believe it's under pre-recorded webinars, which is in the menu on the left.
Scroll down, and I'll show you right now, Jeff. That's great. Yes, the pre-recording of this will be here. Here we go. Let me get my little pen. Here, if you can see this at the membership site, free training, webinar replays, and this will be here probably within about 3 hours or so.
Chris, we've had several members and/or affiliates ask if you can set that up to be an affiliate destination page.
I think it is already, actually, but I might be wrong. But yes, I certainly will. I'm pretty sure it is, to be honest with you, but let me check that, and if not, I certainly will.
Okay. By the way, several people have mentioned this. You're correct. You should not really name your page download.html. Chris did that today, just to help you keep track of which page is which. In a real situation, you probably wouldn't want to call it download.html.
Yeah, that is a good point.
It made it much easier just for teaching purposes.
Sure.
Chris, next we have Tony. Hi, Tony. Can you hear us? Hello.
Oh, sorry. I haven't got a question for you, Chris. Thank you.
Is that Tony?
Yep.
Hello, Tony. Sorry, did you say you didn't have a question, Tony?
No, I didn't. My hand wasn't raised.
Oh, right. We're just picking on people that haven't got a hand raised. We're doing it the opposite way to normal.
Here's a question.
They're showing raised to us. What happens is sometimes the signal doesn't get back through to go to webinar, and we think your hand is raised, even though it's not.
Well, Tony, nice to talk to you, all the same.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Tony.
All right, we're going to jump up here, and we will go to Ross. Let's try Ross.
Okay.
Hi, Ross.
Hi.
Hey, Ross, you sound alive.
Oh, I am.
Where are you, Ross?
I'm in Missouri.
Missouri. Beautiful. Beautiful. How may I help you, sir?
I get a lot of email from Harrow, and I'm interested in doing a lot of promoting with them. Can you recommend some suggestion as to an article that I could put together and submit to someone at Harrow?
Ross, if you don't mind, you're asking about Harrow, which is a traffic generating technique, which is great, but it's slightly unrelated to today's webinar. Is there any chance you could email me, and I'll certainly help you out with that? If you don't mind, and please don't think me being rude, I'd just rather, if it's okay, try and keep the questions related to today. Just for those that aren't familiar, Ross is asking about a great traffic technique called Harrow, which I'm a big fan of. But thank you, Ross. You're very cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ross. Chris, we've had several people ask, and I'll just take this one, will this work with WordPress instead of using Composer? The answer is yes, it can work, but you would have to format the sales page to work within WordPress. And even that's not all that difficult, but it is more involved than what you showed today.
Yeah. The short answer is yes, it would work, but as Jeff says, you'd need to actually convert the page, wouldn't you, and I guess into an HTML page, which it already is, then insert that into WordPress. It could
get... Okay, very good. Have time for maybe just one or two more. Charlotte, hi, can you hear us? Hi, Charlotte.
Me.
Oh, we've got you now.
Can you hear me?
Is this Charlotte?
Yes.
Charlotte, we've met, haven't we?
We have. We have twice. I saw you at Anastasia's event last week.
That's right. Week. Was it this week? Gosh, I'm losing track of days.
You got back home all right.
I did, thank you. It was quite funny. I was walking through the event, and then you were sitting there, and I was like, I know you, Charlotte.
I know.
It's
That's
like,
amazing.
small world. Small world. Well, nice to hear you again, Charlotte.
I know. Oh, you too.
I know. How may I help?
No, just wondering about refunds. I mean, what if a customer wants their money back? They don't want your product after all. How do you do that?
Well, you can easily refund using PayPal. There's a simple, basically one-click refund. What would happen is if a customer emails you and wants a refund, the best thing to do is just refund. If you were a customer and you emailed somebody and you didn't get a reply, and you're thinking, hang on, I've asked my money back, and they're not replying, then PayPal will allow you to get your money back by default. I think it's 30 days. But yes, you would basically give refunds. Occasionally, not often, you do get some people that will buy with every intention of asking for a refund. I see this a little bit now and again. There's a few people in the world that will do this. A few people that, for example, download my ebook and then will, cancel or unsubscribe straight away, and will download my stuff that I've created that's worth like $15,000 and then unsubscribe straight away. And I kind of think, well, you know what? It's going to happen in the world. There are a few people like that, and the best thing to do is not really spend any time and energy worrying about it. But you may get a few refunds. I hardly get any, actually. I think if you have a decent product, most people really, if you treat them well, you're not really going to have a problem. And this product today, for example, is actually a very decent product. I've checked it out and listened to all the videos.
But do I contact PayPal and get them to do it for me, or do I have to do it myself?
You can do it yourself. You can just log into your PayPal account and you just find the transaction that came in and just click refund. Simple as that.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very easy.
Hmm.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Lovely. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much for your webinar.
Not at all. Well, very nice speaking with you again. I'll probably bump into you in Rodeo Drive here in Los Angeles soon.
No, you're or in London. You're probably coming back soon,
yeah.
aren't you?
I think I might be, probably not till September, but yes. Charlotte, thank you. Nice speaking with you again.
You too.
Thank you, Charlotte. Okay, we have time for maybe one more here. And let's see, we will go to, I'm trying to keep these in the order that I've seen them pop up here. Derek, let's see. Hi, Derek, can you hear us? Hello, Derek. Okay, we'll move on here. Okay, let's go with Frank. Hi, Frank, can you hear us? No? Okay. We'll keep swinging here till we find someone.
We're not leaving till we find someone else.
All right. Let's see. Next up I see is Helen. Hi, Helen. Did you have a question? Hello?
Maybe you will.
Well.
Maybe you will be doing some singing, Jeff.
we may at that, Chris. Oops. All right, let's see. We have Ian. Let's see if we can get Ian. Hi, Ian.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, loud and clear.
Loud and clear, Ian. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, young Christopher. Are you well yourself?
We've met Ian, haven't we? Is this Ian Yadley?
That's correct.
Oh, I recognise your voice. Very
I'm
nice.
the one.
Very nice to hear. Ian in London. You're in London, aren't you?
That's correct.
Oh, how is it in London?
Chris, technical question.
Yes, sir.
When you uploaded your download file,
Yes.
the only file that showed up was the actual product itself. Now, you offered resale rights on that. How would you cover that? Would you do another zip file with all of the files in it?
Sorry, Ian, I don't quite understand. You're saying the download page that's online links to the product that somebody's purchased.
Only to the product.
So if you wanted to offer the master resale rights,
correct,
then you would... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, so you're saying if you wanted to offer the master resale rights, then basically what you have put online, you would have to offer as well
Mm,
to somebody
indeed.
else. Yes. Well, the easiest way would be, I'm just trying to think if there's an easy way to do it, because
I suppose the easy way to do it is to rename the zip file that you've downloaded and put
I just
that up as your
include that.
download file, I suppose.
Because what you could do, yes, what you could do then is have your download page with a link to the product, and then maybe a link below that saying if you were interested in the master resale rights of this product, click here, then link to, as you say, another folder that really basically has the same thing, but plus the actual files that you originally downloaded as well.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, good question. I actually, do you know what?
Okay.
That I didn't think of that until you flagged it up. But yes.
Yeah.
Good question, Ian.
Okay.
Well, lovely
Thanks.
hearing you again, Ian.
And you.
How was?
I haven't been able to get round to your seminars, but I've
Don't
been
worry.
down in Bath quite a lot recently at my son's place.
Tell me very
However,
quickly. Tell me
next
quickly.
time,
How was the UK after the football last Saturday?
well, I'm a Scotsman.
Oh, so you were cheering.
Yes.
They're out again.
I was disappointed, though, that Andy Murray went out in Wimbledon.
I know. That was a shame, wasn't
However,
it? Ian,
there
lovely
you go.
speaking to you again.
And you, Chris.
All the best.
Take
Thank
care
you,
now.
Ian. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you,
Jeff,
Ian.
thank you, sir.
Chris, it's about, what, 3:30 there, a little after, so probably about time to wrap up, don't you think?
Wonderful.
I have to go, I remember you said. So.
Jeff, thank you again. I know that Jeff is just so super helpful on these webinars. I know I've just been looking at many of the hundreds of questions you've been answering while we've been doing the webinar. So, Jeff, thank you ever so much again.
And we have so many more that we just couldn't get to, and I'm sorry about that, everyone. If you're a member of Chris's site, then please ask there. We'll get to those.
And yes, thank you so much for your time. I hope that you found today just, if anything, just, I really kind of, as I said at the beginning, want to convey the aspect that this is something that is achievable to anyone, and that now it really is the perfect time to start a web business. You haven't missed the boat. You're not too late. Things are only going to grow and grow more as we get into 2011, 12, and 13, and just spending 6 months, a year even now, kind of understanding these basics and then implementing them will just allow you to create a little bit of a regular income. It won't be much at first, but it will begin to grow month after month after month. And we all know how quickly time goes. Suddenly a year's gone and 2 years are gone, and how nice would it be just to have that little pocket of financial income that's coming in regularly. That's the great thing about a web business. It can be regular if you do it correctly. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's webinar. The replay will be available at my membership site, and it is available even if you're not a member. You can see on your screen here on the left-hand side there's a link that says free training. That's where you want to click to find the recording of the webinar, and that should be there. Probably give me about 24 hours because it takes a bit of a while to kind of format this video. Okay, well, thank you ever so much. I've got to disappear. It's just gone 3:30 here in the very sunny Beverly Hills here in California. I'll speak to you if you're a member of my membership site at the membership site, I'm sure, very soon. And if not, look forward to maybe speaking to you in the not-too-distant future. Again, thank you for giving up your time, and I'll be emailing you in the next 24 hours with the link to the pre-recording of this video, just in case you need some reminding. Okay, this is Chris Farrell signing out. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.